Yo, what's up, dude?
What's up?
So basically, I'm here to ask you, bro. Have you had any paranormal slash ghost stories that's ever happened to you, like in real life, like the craziest shit that's ever happened to you? Have you ever had like any time, like any moment like that, dude?
I've had a lot of crazy stories, but paranormal activities, not that much. But there was one
Yeah, dude.
that
Tell
I
me
can
about it.
remember. Yeah, I can remember. It was from when I was maybe like 3, 4 years old,
Mhm.
right? So back then, I grew up in France. Like I was born in France,
Yeah.
and so I was living there at the time.
Mhm.
And I was living in this little town, like village in the south of France, like in the mountains.
Yeah.
And my parents, they had this like hotel, kind of. It was a bed and breakfast. It was like a small hotel,
Mhm.
and we had like our living space, which was like separated from the rest of the hotel.
Yeah.
And and I can't remember. I'm trying to think. I think my parents were either out at a party or something. I don't know. They would leave me home alone.
Oh, so you were home
And
alone?
yeah, so I
Holy.
was home
Wait, they
alone.
left you alone like at 4, dude?
Yeah, dude. I mean, my parents, like, I guess it's a French thing. Like, French people are not like super overprotective and stuff, and they're like,
Yeah.
I mean, we had like big iron fences and stuff around the house, but
Yeah.
so I'm in my room and I'm in bed. The lights are off. It's like very quiet. And this house, this like hotel was from the 17th century, so really really old,
Yeah.
like from the 1600s. And it's made out of stone and everything. So I'm laying in bed, it's quiet, trying to fall asleep. And then I hear this like tapping on the stone that
On the
at
stone,
first
like
I,
of
I
the
can,
hotel.
yeah, like the stone floor outside,
Oh,
like
okay.
outside my room. And I couldn't tell what it was at first. And then I started like, I could make out like footsteps.
Mhm.
And they sounded like they were walking they were kind of like walking around outside my door. And so that kind of freaked me out, right?
Yeah.
So I just put like I mean, I was little. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to put the blankets over my face. That'll help. But I still hear the tapping, and then all of a sudden I hear it like come closer. I can like hear them like coming to my door and then stomping right at my door. Then I didn't hear anything else. I was like, okay, so I waited like a couple minutes, and then I like slowly peek my head out from the blankets, and then I hear a voice, but not in English, no, because this was France.
Yeah.
In French, the voice goes, "I found you,"
Wait, you heard
just
that
like that.
whispered to you, or like?
I peeked. It was dark in the room. I peeked my head out from the blankets. Couldn't see anything. It was dark.
Mhm.
And then I hear like right next to my bed, like right next to my face, I hear a voice go, "I found you," in French, like
Holy.
quiet voice. After that, I like my heart started racing. I put the blankets back on. I like curled up into a ball, and just the
And
whole
you didn't
night.
like talk back to it, or like?
Nah, man, I was so fucking scared. Like, I mean,
Holy.
I was 4, dude. Like, so yeah, I put the blankets back over and I just stayed there. And there was, yeah, I mean, there was lots of weird stuff happen like that in the house. Um,
Damn, dude.
yeah, like little
That's
things.
crazy, yo.
Yeah, little things would happen. Like, for example, I would go to bed
Mhm.
and I'd be like tucked in the bed, everything. And then I wake up the next morning completely on the other side of the bed.
What do you mean? Like on the other side?
Yeah, so I would go to sleep and I'd have like my head on my pillow and everything. And I'd have my head like on the pillow, everything tucked in. Then I'd wake up the next morning, and I was completely on the other side, so my head was where my feet used to be when I fell asleep.
Maybe.
But I was no. But here's the thing: when I woke up, I was all tucked in. The pillow was under my head.
Oh shit, that's weird.
Everything
It's
was
like you
like
got
all the
carried, yo.
pillows. Yeah, it's like I got
Holy
carried, or like the bed got
shit.
flipped around, because everything was the way it was when I went to sleep, except it was flipped around.
That's fucking spooky, yo.
Yep.
So is France known for having like scary shit? Like,
Well, I mean, France is a really old country, so like there's I'm sure there are lots of like ghosts and stuff. I mean, there have been like lots of like rumors and sightings. Like there was like this one, and it's like a cave in the mountains in France, where
Mm-hmm.
they like someone claimed to see like they saw like the Virgin Mary appear, like an appearance of her or something in that cave.
Oh.
And so like now you can visit that cave, and apparently there's like stuff that happens in there sometimes. And my grandpa, he had gone there, he visited it, and he never told anyone because people would make like a big deal out of it and stuff. But when he was in the cave, his watch started um turning backwards.
Like time going backwards?
Yeah, like the watch, instead of the time ticking like
Yeah.
clockwise, it started ticking counterclockwise.
Oh shit, that's so weird, dude.
Yep.
Fuck,
Mhm.
man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And is that like a thing that happens, or like does people watches do that, or it was like only him type shit?
I no, it's just like I don't know about other stories. I just know that one that from like what he told me.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like I guess like all sorts of weird stuff. And, like there's been like miracles. Like this guy that he knew, there was a creek where him and his grandma would always walk to when he was little,
Yeah.
and he would always walk to that creek and wash his face like with the fresh water.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a little waterfall. And as growing up, he always did that. And so when he was a bit older, he was playing around with fireworks.
Yeah.
These like older fireworks, and one of them went off and got him right in the eye. Completely, like he lost his eye. And the doctors were like, "Yeah, you're gonna be blind in that eye for the rest of your life. Like, there's nothing we can do." And this guy, like, I guess a while later, he was just sitting there, and he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go to that creek that I used to go to with my grandma."
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes there, and he washes his face in the creek like he used to. And then the next day, he wakes up, seeing out of the eye that he lost.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that's like kind of like a miracle thing.
Yeah, and the doctors were like, they couldn't
shock,
even
huh?
like explain what happened. Like the tissue on the eye had like reformed,
Oh my
like
dude.
healed somehow. Like
What the fuck?
yeah,
That's crazy, yo.
yeah. Because I mean, I guess like France is like because France is like Catholic.
Yeah.
It's like very like so. There's lots of old cathedrals and like crypts and stuff where like I don't know. It's like
Yeah. That's
yeah.
insane.
There's definitely lots of spirits and stuff there.
All right, bro. Well, appreciate you telling me those like stories, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man.
All
Peace
right.
out.
Yep, you too.